me, Humaira Mehnaz from STS Global Education. Hi, Sonika from LSBU. She's the Regional Recruitment Manager. How are you, Sonika?
I'm doing very well. Very excited to be in today's show. Good evening, everyone.
Same here. Same here. Welcome to Pakistan. And here you are going to interact with the Pakistani students, and you'll see that how excited they are about their January intake. So, due to some technical issues, I apologize from the students. We were a bit late, but right now we are here, and I will not be wasting a single minute. I'll give the chance to you, Sonika. Let us know about something about you and about LSBU.
Perfect. Thank you, Humaira. I mean, I'm really excited. Of course, I also do apologize the technical issues we had, and so we just got like few minutes delay. But yes, as you said, without delaying further, I'm so excited to do a small presentation about London South Bank University, right? So, is my screen, Humaira, can you confirm, is my screen up on the slide on the monitor?
Nice.
Perfect. So, as you all know, I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager for Pakistan for South Asia. So, I'm all here today to speak to you guys, right? So, talking about London South Bank University. So, all of you know from the name itself where we are, right? So, we are a university which is based in central London. We are one of the oldest and largest public university based in central London, right? So, as a student, if you are looking at the options of taking a decision where to take your next step further for higher education, perhaps you might be evaluating options like why study in UK. We all know that UK offers some of the world famous degrees to internationals to students which are internationally recognized. The course durations are very intensive, so bachelor students can come in for 3 years and master student can come in for 1 year. And over the top, London has been voted as the world's best student city. This has come from the QS Best Student Cities ranking 2022. And employment opportunities have been fantastic, right? So if you are still evaluating your options where to study, perhaps you can look at UK as one of the study destination, right? Now, this is one of the slides which I'm very excited to talk to students about why London South Bank University, right? So I had been talking about our location. Our location is in the name itself, London South Bank. So we are in the London borough of Southwark. So if you happen to go to London and you start walking south of River Thames, you can see our huge presence out there. So this is where we are located. We are very centrally located in Zone 1. And over the top in central London, we are the one of the university which has one campus, one campus experience for students. So students looking for one campus experience, they don't have to go to tier 2 cities like Manchester or Leeds or Nottingham. They can have that campus experience of one campus in central London with us, right? Now moving on to our next USP, why London South Bank, I can talk about employability and enterprise. Our employability outcome, which I'm going to show you shortly on my slide, the stats which has been recently released, our employability outcome for students have been fantastic. So when we look at our courses, you can see all our courses are very practical, they're very hands-on, and some of the courses also have internships and placement opportunities for students. Our courses have professional accreditation that makes students very highly sought after by employer, and and we have been constantly ranked very high for our employability outcome. Now, moving on to the next point is on accommodation. So in central London, we have our own halls of accommodation for students. We have 4 halls where students can be very comfortable. They can be on campus and they just could be like at a stone's throw from the place of study, right? So they don't have to commute to reach their place of study, right? So they can be just right on the campus with our own halls of accommodation. Very economical, very affordable, and very safe environment for students to be with us, right? Now, our next point, which is our heart of the university, is our thriving student life center, right? So if you happen, I mean, behind my, screen itself, you can see the spanky building of our student life center, right? So that houses our latest facility, which is the library, which has been resurrected and rebuilt. It also houses some of the other facilities, like the career employability is within our student life center. It houses some of the cafes within the thing, right? It's a very central location of the university, very thriving, and we have invested so much amount of money to build some of the latest state of art facilities for our students, right? Now, let's move on to our next point, which is scholarships and fee discounts, right? So, as a university, we understand the challenges, we understand how important it could be in student journey to give them certain amount of scholarships, right? So, we have a generous amount of scholarships for international students. We have that in the form of a merit scholarship. We also have students who are not able to meet the merit requirement. We also have the discounts available so that they're able to afford the tuition fees, right? So in my upcoming slides, I'm going to talk to you all about tuition fees and the scholarships that we can offer. Now let's have a look on the learning and teaching method at London South Bank University, right? So I was talking about our employability outcome, which has been fantastic, right? So this is embedded in the teaching pedagogy that we have at the university. Our teaching is based on industry needs and society challenges. And students, they get an opportunity to learn from industry leaders. Our teachers or our professors are very hands-on. They are at the cutting edge of the researchers in their chosen field, right? And they always apply a real world context to the teaching, right? And student gets lots of practical experience, which is very appealing to employers. I also would like to add on here is that when we look at the courses at the university, our courses comes with professional accreditations, they have placement years, they have internships built into the program, right? So students, when they graduate, they are highly employable, right? And that also is reflected in our graduate employability outcome. Just to give some stats around it, LSBU ranks both in UK for graduate prospects. LSBU is in the UK's top 10 for starting salaries, and the latest Guardian ranking, which has come up, we are one of the top risers, and we have taken the top spot and have moved up the ranking by 22 places. Right. So I have been talking about our graduate outcome, right? So here is the stats, which is there. 72% of our graduates are able to find jobs within 15 months of passing out from the university. 7,000 plus graduates are sponsored by employers, right? So you can see our courses are very practical led and very hands-on. And the starting median salary for student is £28,400, which has been ranked as one of the highest among the London modern universities. Right. So we have spoken about, I know students, you might have now understood why London South Bank University. We have spoken about some of the USPs of the university. We are central London located university. We are one campus university. We have great facilities for our students. Talking about the facility, just to give you, a perception around it, right? So some of our facilities include, we have 31 specialized lab studios and suites on campus for the student, right? So you can understand how big are the facilities around it. We have more than 850 plus study spaces for students, right? And London South Bank University keeps on investing huge amount of money to build some of the latest facilities and support things for students, right? Where our graduates go, right? So just taking like some of the brands and some of the companies logos out here just to show where our students move for career opportunities once they graduate from us. Right. So we had been talking about one campus university, right? So this is our Southwark campus. This is our main campus, right? So you can see this triangular. This is at a very walking distance from Central or the London Bridge, right? So you can see some of our buildings, right? So, I can see, some of the buildings, some of the facilities on the campus, right? So this is, as you can see, it's on one campus and it's triangular in shape. Now to give you a bird's eye view on where we are located, right? So you can see the middle stream, that's the River Thames. And if you look towards the south side of it, there's the same triangular one campus location, the Southwark campus that I have, I had zoomed up in the previous slide, right? So this is where we are located, just to give you a perception. And in the circles, you can see some of the iconic places. These places are at stone's throw. You can, if you want, students can actually go around these places at their own pace. They're very, very reachable. Right. So now I understand you all have got a good idea of where we are, what we are, and what are our USPs, right? So now let's move on to the next part. Let me talk to you in brief about our schools, right? So we have 7 schools at the university: the School of Applied Sciences, the School of Arts and Creative Industries, the School of Built Environment and Architecture, London South Bank University Business School, the School of Engineering, the Institute of Health and Social Care, the School of Law and Social Sciences, right? So in brief, I'm going to talk about some of the courses. We are not going to go in depth, right? So students who all are listening to me today, please go on our website to have full information on the course content. But now let me brief you about what are the different subject streams that we can offer you in the school, right? So talking about the School of Applied Sciences, here we have courses around psychology, sports, food, bakery and nutrition, and biological sciences. Talking about psychology, we have been ranked top in UK, top 15 in UK, and first in London for graduate prospects in psychology. Our courses comes with pre-registration. So students looking for psychology program, they can get themselves pre-registered with the BPS body, and they can be hands-on patients, right? Food, bakery, and nutrition, very popular. We are the world's oldest bakery school, the National Bakery School. It's right with us, right? Now, talking about the biological sciences, yes, we have been ranked very high for our biological courses. All these courses, if you can see at the bottom of my screen, has professional accreditations along with the program. Now you can see our beautiful keyword, the spanky building of the Keyword Center. This is where we house the School of Built Environment and Architecture. One of the biggest schools at the university. We have courses in the subject streams of architecture, construction, civil, planning, property, and real estate. At the bottom of the screen, you can see professional accreditations. And to talk about some of the facilities, it comes with huge amount of facilities for students, right? We have digital architecture and robotics lab, we have strength materials lab, material testing labs, virtual engineering lab for students to put their projects and see how it works, right? Thermodynamic labs, we have anechoic and reverberation chambers. These are some of the very modern facilities for students, right? And we have industries standard like softwares for most of our courses, right? And to add on to this, I'm very proud to share that the first female engineer was from London South Bank University. To give you an idea about different courses, you can see up on the slide. But for more detailed information, students, I'll request you to go on our website to pick up more information or in-depth information about our course content and the course overview. Now let me move on to the School of Art and Creative. Here we cover, if you people are interested for subjects like drama, performances, fashion, film and photography, journalism, creative advertising and marketing, game design and development, music and sound. Yes, we are one of the university which caters to all the subject streams, and we have been again ranked very high with huge amount of facilities for our students within the school, right? The school has the Elephant Studio, it's a film studio, it has sound stage, it has photography studio, the editing suites and sound studios. We also have the auditorium, which is the Edric Theatre. It has the studio theatre and rehearsal studio. So you can see the good amount of facilities that we have within the school for students to use. Right. Now, all of you might be aware of this, our most famous school, the School of Business. Here we cover the length and breadth of management subjects, whether it's in accounting and finance or business, economics, marketing, HR. We have been ranked very high within each subject stream. To talk about it, we are first in London among modern competitors. We are second for graduate prospects in marketing. We are second for accounting and finance, just after London School of Economics. We are third for accounting and finance in UK for student satisfaction. So, At the bottom of my screen, again, you can see some of the professional accreditation that goes hands-on with the degree program. So if you want professional accreditations along with the program, you can register for the program, and there are possibilities of some paper exemptions, as our courses have been professionally ranked, accredited by these bodies. Talking about some of the highlights of the business school, students have an access to the Clarence Center. That's the Center for Enterprise. So if students have some startup ideas, some innovation ideas, they can reach the Clarence Center and they can help the students out there. Our courses carry professional accreditations, good amount of management courses, both at undergrad as well as at master's level, have internship options as well. Right. Now let's move on to our next school, the School of Engineering. Here we cover courses in chemical and petroleum engineering. We have computer sciences and informatics. We have computer engineering. We have electrical and electronic engineering. We have mechanical engineering and product design, right? We have been again ranked among this school, for the subject stream as first for student satisfaction amongst London competitors for chemical engineering and mechanical engineering courses. We are third for graduate prospects in London. We have a huge laboratory space for our students, right? And students have an access to the 6,000 meter square specialist engineering lab. And we have also built up the LSBU virtual engineering lab, which allows students to have large-scale simulated large-scale industrial project just to see how it functions, right? So amazing facilities at the university. We also have model making workshop and a fabrication workshop as well. Right. So this is just to give you the idea of some of the subject titles that you can find, within the program. Right. Now let's move on to Institute of Health and Social Care. Here we have courses under chiropractors, midwifery, nursing, occupational therapy, operating department practice, physiotherapy, social care, and sports rehabilitation. We work very closely with NHS, and all courses comes with professional pre-registration, so students can actually work with patients. Right. Now let's move on to our last school, the School of Law and Social Sciences. Here we cover courses under law. We cover all pathways of law program. We also have research program at in law. We have social sciences courses. So if students are looking for international relations, there are a good number of subject streams, right? So for more detailed information, please go on to our website. But yes, there are lots of social sciences courses that students can look into it. We also have courses under urban environment and leisure studies. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. Now let me just quickly jump some of the slides and talk about the upcoming January intake, right? So we have begun the application process for the Jan intake, Jan 2025. As you can see, the application process are going on in full swing. So if you are considering to apply to us, please do not delay the process. Please reach out to your counselor at STS. They can help you to put up the applications together. They'll help and guide you how to put up a strong application to us. As you can see on my screen, our last application deadline is 29th of November. Deadline to meet conditions is 13th December. Deadline for receipt of deposit payments, right? So if you have been made an unconditional offer and you have made up your mind, or when you decide to accept the offer, you have to make the deposit to us. The precast deposit, we call that, is £2,000, and the deadline for you to do so is 19th of December, right? And the CAS issuance deadline. So you all know CAS is an electronic number which is required by student who holds an unconditional accepted offer from a university to go ahead and apply for the student visas, right? So our CAS deadline is 10th of January, right? Talking about the courses that we are accepting for the Jan intake, we have good amount of management courses both at undergrad and master's level. We have courses around architecture and civil. We have courses to do with computer sciences, and our research courses are all open, right? So you can, if you're considering these courses, the Jan intake is knocking at the door. So please do not delay your application process. please start putting your documents together for the JAM intake if that's an option available for you, right? Talking about the entry requirement, if you're looking for undergrad course, if you are 70% and above in any higher secondary school or equivalent A level, if you are from A level curriculum, that's our entry requirement. And we also require English language test scores. Talking about the post-grad entry requirement, if you are from 3 years bachelor's program, our minimum entry requirement is 65%. And again, I should also say that it's a very holistic approach towards application, right? So this is the entry requirement. We will evaluate your personal statement, your reference, your individual background before an offer can be rolled out to the student, right? If you're from a 4 years bachelor's program with 55% and above, that's our entry requirement. And if you're from 2 years undergrad and 2 years master's, it should be first class in both, right? If there is a 1 or 2% here or there, perhaps you can reach out to us and then we can look at your application more holistically in the borderline cases, right? Talking about the English language requirement, yes, we require English language test from you, and there are a couple of examinations that we do accept. IELTS, TOEFL, LangCert, Pearson Test of English. These are some of the examinations that we do accept. I have been talking about the scholarships, right? So we have very generous amount of scholarships for undergrad students. We have merit scholarships for students who have 75% and above. But for students who do not meet the merit requirement, we have a generous scholarship amount that you can see on my screen. So after the discount, the net payable tuition fee, as you can see, is not more than £13,000 change, right? A very generous amount of scholarship. For postgrad students, as you can see, our tuition fees are categorized in 3 different slabs, and you can see the corresponding scholarship. Again, if you look at the last column of my presentation, last column of the scholarship table, you can see the scholarship. After the scholarship, the net payable amount to the university is not more than 13,000 change, right? So I'm going to jump this couple of slides, and now let me talk about the accommodation at the university. So if you remember, initially I did talk about our halls of accommodation, right? So right on the campus, we have our 4 halls of accommodation. We offer different kinds of rooms, whether it's en suite or single or premier. These are very economical, very affordable, and very safe space for students. And it's so good to be with the peer because you learn a lot. You learn to, how to put things together, and your student experience are going to be fantastic, right? If you can see at the tariffs rate, the tariff ranges between 135 to 222 per week, which is very, very affordable. And of course, you can start talking to our accommodation team once you have accepted your unconditional offer. Just to give you some of the pictures of how our accommodation looks like, you can see some of the pictures, and there are a few more pictures. You can see the shared kitchen space, the single bedroom for students, and some of the common spaces for students to socialize or, to have group studies together. Right. That's all from my side. I'm very glad to take the questions from you. So if you have questions, you can start putting it in the comment boxes. Thank you. Humaira, please unmute yourself.
Yes. So thank you so much, Sonika. It was really a very nice presentation by you and for us and for the students also. I think that you have covered almost all the areas, especially I love the accommodation at LSBU. I think so it's cheaper also, and it's good as well for the students, and the courses which it's the wide range of courses which you people are providing to the students. So it's really very good. I have some questions, but I have some questions at the chat box also. So if you wish, I can just deliver those questions to you. Okay, thank you so much. Students are really very happy with you. Is there any enrollment fees? If I'm not wrong, you don't, I think so. Your initial deposit is the only payment, and after this, you have the payment plan.
Yeah, so just to clarify on this line is that we have, once we issue the unconditional offer, the student can make a deposit of £2,000 minimum towards the payable tuition fee. With this, we can begin the precast process for the student. Once the student passes the interview, we have credibility interview as a part of the precast process. Once the student passes the credibility interview, we will encourage student to pay 50% of the payable tuition fee. The student can deduct already paid amount, right? So before we can issue the cast, right? So to answer the question, yes, before you arrive at the university, you have to clear 50% of the payment, right? After that, you can complete your first semester. The remaining 50% can be paid in two installments. The first installment could be at the start of the second semester, and the final 1/4 of the payment could be at the start of the third semester. I hope, yeah, Mr. Walid bin Dan's question, yes, that's his question.
Yeah,
The
uh,
next,
it's well explained, and many of the students need to pay 65 or 50% or sometimes full fee while they are taking admissions in UK university. So LSBU, that I can say that 50% of the total tuition fee the student needs to pay it before uh, either we call it enrollment fee or we call it deposit, initial deposit, but that's 50%. So that's really very good and friendly for the student as well. And one more thing, Sonika has explained that after this 50% of the payment in the university, you have to pay the other 50% in two installments. So this is also really very good. Okay, yeah. What about the English courses? I have a question from a student here. Waleed has raised this question. Do you people accept Duolingo, Language Search Online, or Oxford, online
right.
course?
Yeah, so we do accept IELTS, both the center-based as well as the online. We do accept TOEFL. Uh, we do not accept Duolingo, unfortunately, but we do accept Langsert online. And Oxford ELLT, only the global one. We do not accept the digital Oxford ELLT. So just to sum it up, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson Test of English, the academic one. We also accept Langsert, both online and the center-based one.
Okay, and Oxford ELT. So, Waleed, I think your answer question has been answered. Do you accept English proficiency? Okay, MOI question. Many universities have started accepting the MOIs, medium of instruction certificates from Pakistan, from other countries as well. So, students are really taking much interest in that. So, the question has raised, and I just want to put it in your court. So, what about the MOI acceptance by you people, which I don't know the
No,
answer.
I'm
Students.
sorry, but currently, yes, currently we are not accepting MOI. So here I
Okay.
would like to say to the student that, taking up your IELTS or English language program actually preps you up for the academic year that you're going to spend at the university, right? So you have to do your dissertations, you have to do your coursework, right? So please do not shy away from the English language examination. You will thank us that we made you do that, right? And even it's very helpful, even at the point of immigration, we're looking for part-time jobs and things like that, right? So please do not shy away from your English language examination. Please take your examination.
Okay, here one more question that is at the end, but I just saw it while you were giving the presentation, so it's just a related one. If anyone has completed his bachelor's from UK, okay, and now he wants to proceed for master, he came back to home country, and now he wants to proceed for the master's. So for that sense, will there be any English waiver?
See, it depends. First thing is that we have to look at the mark sheet of the student. So it should be a recent graduate who has studied in an English-speaking country. So I should not say UK. There are a couple of other English-speaking country, right? There could be a waiver possibility, but then of course it's like I have to see how long back the student has graduated. So those are some of the things.
Okay, so what I can sum up this question is that yes, you people can consider this thing, but it depends on the study gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that not only UK but other English-speaking countries. So if I have one question here, and these are all the related questions. If one student has completed his previous education from China, you know that in China also we are getting two language two languages courses. One is Chinese and the other is in English. So, there is no third language like Urdu or Al. So if somebody is coming from China, the last education, so then also if the gap is less, so it will be considered as English waiver?
Um, I don't think so. Is China considered an English-speaking country? I don't think so. I'm afraid
No, it
we have
isn't
to.
considered, but if they give it's not English speaking country, but the courses which they are giving, it definitely that will be
No,
complete.
then it wouldn't be. The student will need to take up the English language test.
Okay. I just had a query today, so I just wanted to, have the benefit of this meeting here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Many UK universities are, with when a student is justifying the study gap after the bachelor's. So the UK universities are very, friendly in this sense that they do accept the gap as well. But here is a question by Farhan, that is the study gap, after bachelor's, sorry, after intermediate, how much study gap will be welcomed by LSBU?
So just to answer the question is that we do welcome application with genuine study gap, right? So an explanation, a credible explanation which is accepted by the university is important. If I have to give numbers, I should say not more than 4 years. There could be various reasons for this gap, right? A student might be aspiring to study at some of the top university in Pakistan. It could be a medical program, it could be engineering program. If the study gaps are because of that, accepted, but then to for my admissions you have to explain the reason for the study gap, right? The application will be processed. Not more than 4 years is what I'll say at the undergrad level. Now, since we're talking about the study gap for postgrad, even if a student has good amount of credible work experience at the master's level, we are very happy to take the student. Of course, the application will be processed depending on the complete profile of the student.
Okay, so maximum study gap after like undergrad, definitely the study gap is not welcomed because the student is very immature and he needs to be attached to the studies. But the maximum study gap after the undergrad, which can be for the undergrad, which can be accepted, that will be maximum 4 years. But it depends, 2 years can be welcomed more than this. There is a question, if it's a second master from UK, do you still need English test? Farhan, again, it depends on the study gap. So the same thing if you have second master or if you have, graduation done from UK, it depends on you that how much study gap is there. Okay. So do you offer pre-master? Okay. Do you offer pre-master for top up directly?
No, we do not offer pre-master's program, but we have good number of top-up courses, right? For top-up courses, our entry requirement is you should have studied at level 5, right? So you should have proper qualification and we will do the module matching of the student for them to give in for the top, to give them an admission for our top-up program, right? So for students who are looking for the top-up courses, please do not delay the application process. Please apply to us so that we can do the module matching.
Okay. For top up also the study gap methods.
Yes, the study gap, as I said, we are fine with the study gap. A good explanation is required, but it should not be at the undergrad level. We do not welcome study gap more than 4 years. And for masters, up to 10 years, but a student should have credible work experience during those 10 years.
So Sonika, for the top up, if somebody is coming, so we are considering as undergrad. So again, the study gap should be not more than 4 years.
Yes.
And 2 years bachelor's or 3-year bachelor's will be accepted for that.
For the top-up program, right? So we require students to have qualification till the level 5 of equivalent to UK. So it should be completed depending on what kind of graduation degree the student is doing, right? So we should see it should be equivalent to level 5. So if you have a query, I think I can ask the student to reach STS team. They can share the transcripts of the students with us and we can quickly evaluate and I can get the feedback to you guys back.
So there's a question about MOI, which has been already answered. Study gap is answered. Okay. Okay, so these were some of the questions which were asked by the students. They were in the chat box. Many of the students are asking the same questions which we have already answered. So I hope that now you people know that what is the study gap accepted, or what language test can be accepted, what will be the scholarship offered for the January intakes and deadlines of applications. So if there is any student who is interested in as we have some undergrad courses also in January intake, so we have more courses for postgraduate as well. This STS team is here, and Sonika is here with us all the time. So if any one of you is want to avail or grab this January intake, so I welcome all the students to send us their documents, so then our team can see them, see your eligibility, and then we can do apply for you. And inshallah, all the students will be having a very good feedback by STS team and LSBU team as well. So thank you so much, students, for being with us and for joining us. Thank you so much, Sonika. I really liked the presentation, and thank you so much for the time you took, from your tough schedule. Thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you
us.
so much, Humaira, for hosting me today. And thank you, student, for joining us to hear more about London South Bank University. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.